Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what... you know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Thanks for joining me. On this channel, I'm going to talk everything from Tesla, tech, politics, and everything in between. Subscribe if you would like to hear more. I'm going to get into this Trump tape and what my big takeaway is. Do you remember when Rosanne Barr sang the national anthem? What a disaster it was. She was singing off key and out of tune and kind of came across as disrespecting the anthem with all her antics that she did. Do you remember a guy named PeeWee Herman? What happened with him, how he got caught up? What was that about? Those are the same type of feelings I had. I know I'm dating myself. Those are the same type of feelings I had when I listened to this whole hour-long Trump tape. What was he thinking? What was the goal there? Like, I don't understand why he made that call. And the only thing that I can think of, because it made no sense, we didn't think anything was going to change based on his just calling the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and thinking that something different was going to happen. No. So either it was incompetence, and it's a high probability that's what it was, or it might have been a warning call. I don't believe this tweet from Donald Trump. Predictably, Orange Man Bad liberals said Orange Man Bad. A little surprising to me is some were calling for impeachment 2 weeks before he's getting booted out anyway. Bizarre.
Is it too late, though, to impeach him again? Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said last night, I absolutely think it's an impeachable offense, and if it was up to me, there would be articles on the floor quite quickly.
Then you look at the media, they release a little clip of the call, completely out of context, so people overreact based on the clip. You hear the whole call. It's baffling. Trump is rambling. It makes no sense, but it's not what that clip made it out to be. So we got the media, we got Orange Man Bad liberals, we got the MAGAs who will support Trump no matter what he does. None of those things is my biggest takeaway. My biggest takeaway is, how do we put the pieces of our country back together? And when you focus on how do we come together, you don't focus on Trump, you focus on people who support Trump, your fellow man, woman, citizen. Ted Cruz and 10 other senators quoted statistics from a Reuters Ipsos polling. I quote, it tragically showed that 39% of Americans had concerns. And that's in my wording. You can see the quote here. So 39%. What do we do to make that lower? I know it can't get to zero. There's going to be some people who will always have concerns, but it should be lower than 39. That's a red flag. It's something that has to be dealt with. And really, there's nothing more important than that. There shouldn't be anything more important, because the foundation of your colony on Mars, or I was just talking to my son about we might have hotels on the moon one day. If you're questioning the foundation of a new society, then it falls apart. This is a complete hypothetical. I'm going to end on a hypothetical. Did I say this was a hypothetical? Imaginary scenario. Fake scenario. Not real. Phony. Pseudo. My vocabulary is not big enough. Fugazi. Whatever. So imagine I'm a wackadoo guy with orange hair and an orange spray tan. But I'm in high school and I'm running for high school president. And let's just say the name of our high school is Denmark. Let's say my opponent is some 30-year-old guy who's still a senior in high school. His name is Biff. Should have graduated, but he's still there. And me and him, so me, Osiris, and Biff are going up for school president of the high school Denmark. The final results show that Biff won. And I'm shocked because I'm like, this dude is 30 years old. He shouldn't even be in high school, but whatever. He won. That's what the results show. There are some irregularities that I see when we look at the polling. We did the polling in the lunchroom, but I'm looking at the irregularities, and I'm looking at, and let's just say the person who is our high school Secretary of State is Rumpelstiltskin, and I'm calling up Rumpelstiltskin, the person in charge of the election, and saying some of this stuff doesn't even add up. What's going on? So I call them up, and Rumpelstiltskin says, "We already looked into this, bro. Like everything you're saying makes no sense. We're good. The numbers are right." Then I say, well, can we see some of the numbers? Because it's not all adding up. Okay. So you listen to me, Osiris, go on, rambling. Understandably, Rumpelstiltskin does not buy into it. Because Rumpelstiltskin looked into it. It's all good. Everything's clear with this high school. At some point, Rumpelstiltskin's like, bruh, we're done. Understandably. But then I say, well, okay, we're done. But we've got 39%. We did a quick poll, and about 40% of our students aren't feeling this whole process. So whether you agree with me or not, what are we doing for that? And we've got and let's look at this high school of Denmark. We've got 240 million students. It's a big school. So if we got 40% of them who aren't feeling what's happening and the process and the transparency, that's 96 million. So Biff is going to take over, and we want Biff to don't want to have to deal with all these kids running around in the high school, trying to pass around rumors about things that aren't right. So we got to kind of get that down. So I tell the secretary of the school, the secretary of the school process, well, even though you don't believe me, we still have this problem. So I know if I was Rumpelstiltskin, I know what I would do. I would say, well, do whatever you need to do. I don't care. We know what the results are. I already looked into it. What do you want to do? You want to hire somebody? You want to put it on TV? You want to put it on the school monitors, in the lunchroom, in the cafeteria? Do you want to call an assembly and have everybody, all 240 million of them, go into the gym and watch it? I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I'm happy to do it. That's what I would do. But imagine if instead of that, if Rumpelstiltskin says, no, you can't look in the lunchroom where we did all of this. We already looked at it. I don't care about your perception. I don't care. No, you can't have an independent person come in here and audit that. No. Sue us. And then on top of that, Rumpelstiltskin taped my phone conversation, released it the next day. Again, this is a high school named Denmark. And released it the next day in an attempt to smear me. And then on top of that, some of Biff's friends called the cops. So if instead of transparency, we see that, something might be rotten in Denmark. Take care.